Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, and today, and today, the NBA is some shit. The NBA is in some shit today.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
The NBA is some shit right now. What the fuck going on here, man? We got the goddamn gambling shit. It's time to end the gambling shit, bro. I really think that incorporating gambling into sports was a bad idea to begin with. Now it's gotten out of control because now you got mafia and bruh. It just goes to show you that it's bad. It's bad. It's time to get rid of gambling, bro. Prize picks, you gotta go. Underdog, gotta go. FanDuel. It was fun when it was just like you just bet on a player, stats or whatever, or you bet on a team to win or whatever. But now it's gotten out of control to where the players, the coaches, everybody, it seems like it's getting super out of fucking control now, and it's gotten to a point where yes, these are probably the biggest endorsers of these sports leagues, but at the same time, it's hurting the integrity. And if it's hurting the integrity, you have to get rid of it. But knowing somebody like Donald Sterling, I'm not Donald Sterling, but I said Donald Sterling, but Adam Silver, he's more than likely going to choose profits over integrity. If David Stern was still alive, this shit would have been dealt with. He would have got rid of all the gambling companies. David Stern don't care. David Stern only cared about the integrity of the game. Adam Silver only care about the profits. And that's it. They only care about Adam Silver has only cared about the profits, not the game itself. He don't care about the players doing what they do. He don't care about players not wanting to play in the All-Star game, not wanting to show up. He's aiding them. He's aiding them. These niggas are getting $200-300 million contracts. And he's aiding them to be lazy. But if this was David Stern would have been on that ass. No question. RP David Stern, man, the greatest NBA commissioner of all time. But anyways, so without further ado, man, let's get right into this, bro.
Breaking news around us. Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier have both been arrested as part of FBI investigations into sports gambling. What? Billups' arrest was part of a separate case, but it was linked to an illegal poker operation tied to the mafia. What? Of Rozier's arrest is a game from March of 2023 that saw an uptake of Rozier bets coming in on the under. Rozier left that game just 9 minutes in, citing a foot injury. What?
Individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years.
Years?
The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Cosa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families.
La Cosa Nostra? The mafia?
I know that ain't who I think it is.
I'm not thinking, you're thinking. I'm eating. And he's gone.
We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation.
Damn.
Y'all cook, fam. Y'all cook. Y'all better get fitted for y'all orange jumpsuits and get ready to log into your JPay because you're going away for a very long time. Do you recognize how stupid you've got to be an NBA champion and an active head coach in the league, and your dumb ass is out here tied up to sports betting? What part of the game is this? Sir, you're making millions already.
Facts.
You've already made millions. And furthermore, Terry Rozier, you actively on a roster. So do you know how crazy that is? It was a coach's decision from Eric Spoelstra to sit you last night as the Miami Heat kicked off their season against the Orlando Magic. Your ass got raided by the FBI in the hotel room at 6 a.m. Buddy ain't even get more than Wood, motherfucker. Damon Jones, big ass, the only one who's tied to both the poker operation and the sports bet. Do you recognize how dumb you've got to be to where you get yourself tied up in this shit? You in the league. You got direct ties to the league. If I remember correctly, Damon Jones was on TV, whatever the fuck the sports network just so happened to be. There was times in which he happened to be a sports correspondent that they used to bring on to the doggone screen. They ain't no way you down bad to where you got to participate in this shit. It's probably because your dumb ass was getting too greedy. Now, albeit, you dealing with the mafia here. It could be a situation which extortion just so happened to happen.
Yep.
You know, somebody got a little bit too close to you. All of a sudden, now they could touch you. So now you're in a situation where you got to say, all right, I got to do what I got to do and try to mess around and comply.
Chauncey Billups, according to federal prosecutors, was the lure, the mafia allegedly paying him for his celebrity to attract high rollers to poker tables in the Hamptons, in Las Vegas, in Miami, and right here in Manhattan, so they would gamble, so they would play poker. What those people didn't know was that everyone else at the table was in on the scam because the games were rigged. Chauncey Billups was known as a face card because the mafia allegedly used his face to lure in these unsuspecting victims. The victims themselves were called fish.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
These rigged poker games have been going on, prosecutors say, since at least 2019, and it involved these altered shuffling decks, X-ray poker tables that could read cards that were face down. There were special glasses and contact lenses that enabled players in on the scam to know what the victims' cards were, and other technology brought to bear. The victim, Shanae, had no chance at winning these games. They lost millions of dollars, and since the mob was involved, prosecutors say if the victims couldn't or wouldn't pay, that's when violence was used to make sure they did.
Here's one thing about the FBI. Seldom do they make their move if they don't have their damn case already prepared to go. They usually make that move when they know, oh, we got him. It's time to go and strike now. Or if there's a situation where somebody's life happen to be at risk.
He's gotta go.
One way or another. Why y'all doing this, bro? I'll never understand how folks mess around and get caught up in this shit. Don't you think you should probably have the proper channels to where you're not directly associated with what's transpiring? Unless, of course, you happen to have somebody in place who was trying to run the operation for you and they would just kick it back up to you, who either A, squealed, or B, wasn't moving the appropriate way to where they were so sloppy and you messed around and got caught up. But one way or another, Chauncey Billups, there's almost no excuse. You're an active NBA head coach.
Are you shitting me?
But he was leading folks to extortion, smiling while they losing their doggone money, rubbing elbows, talking about, hey man, you got an opportunity to play with Mr. Big Shot. These dudes losing millions of dollars unbeknownst to them. Once they leave from the premises, Chauncey Billups and the remainder of the mafia doing the Scrooge McDuck, everybody diving into the money, counting up all kinds of hundreds. Motherfuckers has probably got the money to the side of their head because they done extorted folks.
Everybody's in. Ace side. Your action, Mr. Taylor.
200.
Terry Rozier, you active in the league. The fuck you in the game, actively not only sabotaging yourself, but your teammates as well. You know how crazy that is? Folks started pulling up clips of when he was in Miami, or currently in Miami, I believe this was last year's game, where he looked like he was assaulted by a poltergeist. The Nerd Lux done showed up straight out of Space Jam, took his athletic ability, and had this man looking like he couldn't make it a junior varsity Make-A-Wish basketball team.
What the hell wrong with them? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with him?
We've never seen a sitting NBA head coach, a sitting NBA player, both arrested at the same time, obviously, but specifically with Chauncey Billups here, we'll get a better feel as the day goes on just how wide-ranging this goes. But he was involved in a 30-defendant case in an illegal poker rigging activity tied to the mafia.
Listen, I don't like talking about people's career earnings and shit because I don't want to pocket watch, but we got to call a spade a spade. Chauncey Billups made over $100 million.
To be fair, I don't think Chauncey is that bad. I think it's bad because he dealing with the mafia and he's scamming niggas. So Chauncey Billups is now known as a scammer. Great way to ruin your reputation, by the way, sir. So Chauncey Billups is basically just scamming. But Terry Rozier, on the other hand, it's over, bro. Your career is over. I said it a long time ago. In 2018, if Terry Rozier didn't take all them ill-advised shots, it would have been the Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors in 2018. We would have never got the Cavs. We would have never got J.R. Smith running the clock out. We would have never got J.R. Smith running the clock out. We probably would have got that young Boston Celtics team versus the Golden State Warriors. Like what? 4 years earlier than we got it. Yeah, like 4 years earlier than we got it. I always said that nigga Terry Rozier suspect, bro. This just proved my point. It's crazy. It's crazy how I'll be saying shit back then, and then it comes into fruition years later. Damn, I'm a prophet. I'm a prophet at this point. I'm a fucking prophet, bro. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. I be telling y'all shit, and y'all just don't be hearing me, bro. I told y'all about 2K. Y'all ain't hear me. Look at 2K. I told y'all about NBA Live. Look at NBA Live. Told y'all about fucking Terry Rozier. Now look at Terry Rozier.
Dollars in his NBA career, not even counting coaching. He made over $100 million. NBA Finals MVP. The Detroit Pistons in 04 took down the Super Lakers with old Gary Payton, Karl Malone, Fat Shaq, and Kobe Bryant. He was Mr. Big Shot, along with that magnificent defensive group of Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, Master Midrange, and Rip Hamilton, led by Larry Brown. They done won the championship. I can almost guarantee if Chauncey Billups was to walk into any restaurant, any establishment in Detroit, or dare I say in the state of Michigan, even if people in 2025 don't immediately recognize him, there will be an old head within close proximity to say, hey, you know who that is? Give him whatever he wants.
I do the best I can and let the chips fall where they may. You know that about me by now, quick.
The moment his bald ass got done with that press conference, they was waiting for him at the hotel like,
they have a warrant for your arrest. You're going to jail. You're going to jail because you've never been there before.
Damn.
Handcuff him. I suggest you use a nightstick on him. He's a common piece of garbage. Mace him if you have to. Arrest him. Throw him below the jail.
In the case of Terry Rozier, he's made over $160 million in the entirety of his career. Let's just take away his last year on the contract this year. He still made well over $100 million, albeit you've got taxes, you probably got all kinds of managerial fees or whatever the case is that you spent, your bread on in that type of situation. But one way or another, you have more than enough life-changing money. How do you get yourself tied up in this shit? It makes absolutely no sense. In the case of Damon Jones, hell, you messed around and had about a couple tens of millions. If I'm not mistaken, he made anywhere between like 10 to like 30, probably lower in the 20s area, higher in the teens area, but whatever the case
probably
may be,
about like 60 million
of dollars. Now, granted, he's the furthest separated from the league than the other two, and moreover, in just a case of relevance, he's not one who happens to have that. But you were an analyst on television. If I'm not mistaken, it was Get Up, not First Take, whatever the case may be. You were on TV. I'm not going to sit over here and say, oh, you got ties to LeBron. Nobody's just going to be leeching off somebody like that. That's ridiculous. But one way or another, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, bro? Are y'all dumb?
You should lock them up.
Wild thing is, y'all know I don't really talk about situations until they've actually gone through the entire process, because there could be a possibility in which there's incorrect information or something like that. But there's a point in time in which when the FBI comes in, you kind of have an understanding, oh shit, this is legit.
Llame el policia.
Terry Rozier is suiting up night after night, going to battle alongside teammates, sacrificing their body, putting in pain in practice for an 82-game season with a team that usually ends up in the postseason to contend for a championship, albeit it's not as if they're going to, mess around and be legitimate contenders, but they're always somewhere in the mix at one particular point. It's ASA 6, ASA 7, ASA 8, ASA 9 to me to be actively in the league. Look your brother in the eye and then cheat him. That's crazy to me, bro. Like, if it's an individual kind of sport, like you playing tennis, maybe you bowling, maybe you boxing and you take a dive, and it's only you who cheats yourself out of the W or something of that nature where you underperform, okay, still fucked up, but all right, it's just you. But you in a team sport and you involved in betting? What's wrong with you? Especially if it's a situation where it's on yourself. Like, I'm active for this game and I'm going to make it seem as if I tweak my ankle and now I'm out. Bro, it directly affects your teammates. What part of the game is this, bro? That don't make no sense.
Chomps, have we received any indication at all that more people are going to be named, more arrests are coming down the pipe?
So there could be some surrenders, Steve. Like, there could be more people that just get uncovered based on these 30-plus arrests today. So who cooperates with the FBI? Who else gives more information to the FBI out of these 30-plus defendants? So surely, it might not be today, but there could be more moving forward.
Are you stupid or are you stupid?
And I know there's going to be a massive amount of people who's probably thinking it's somewhat oxymoronic, antithetical to not have the players be able to engage in the sports betting, because the sports betting is such a large moneymaker. And furthermore, you're allowing the fans to be able to participate. But if you're an active player, you're unable to. But if I was to retire today, then I can get involved. So why can't the players get involved? If you are willfully betting on yourself.
If anything, you could easily just get your family members or your friends to bet for you. You could literally just do that. You could literally have somebody bet for you. and then get your money on the back and say, okay, y'all make the bets. I'm gonna go out here, play the game, put up the bullshit stats that I'm gonna put up, and then we gonna make some bank. You could run an operation like that.
Or other of your contemporary, because you got to remember, you can have much more insider information being able to be in the league than anybody else. All it takes a phone call to somebody who used to be a staffer on your team, who's now employed by a different team. They can give you information that nobody in the public just so happens to know. Or maybe you'll find, oh wait, what? He tweaked his ankle in practice? Damn. Oh, what, does the public know about that? Oh, not yet? Okay, bet. I'm going to utilize this so I can take advantage of this sports bet. I recognize, yes, it is crazy to think that these networks that is constantly out here pushing, sports betting, are now in a situation where they're making it seem as if it's the worst thing ever. The issue is, you're somebody who's actively in the league, whose performance has definitely dipped from his days when he was playing for the Boston Celtics or even when he was in Charlotte. He's not the same player anymore, but that's neither here nor there, right? That's primarily for, Terry Rozier. But how is it that you can just legitimately cheat your teammates like that? And even if it was an individual sport, like I was saying prior, with like tennis, boxing, bowling, you still have trainers who is putting in hours aiding you in preparing for this game and the season, and you're cheating them as well. So it's not even as if you're only cheating yourself. It just doesn't make sense to me. In the case of Chauncey Billups, you're leading folks to the slaughter of extortion. Why, bro? Why? You already got bread. Ain't no way you on this tough, hard times to where you can't leverage the money you already had. And even if you misspent the bread and you ain't allocated well to where you have cash reserves, this the lane that you decide to go in? I would just hope it's a scenario where they themselves were being extorted to where now this was the only way they could do something to survive, because of course the mafia is involved. But at this point, 2-year investigation, maybe it's a situation in which your knee was way too doggone deep in the waters and you thought you could mess around and get away with it. Mind you, they was already investigating Terry Rozier already. He got cleared and now he back in it again. So that means the initial hunch just so happened to be relatively correct. Of course, if indeed they were to go and confirm that everything that is stated happens to mess around and be facts. All I know is the moment the FBI done stepped in, that's all she wrote, bro. Get your JPay ready. Create an account right now. Tell your high roller friends to start to put some on your commissary expeditiously before you even put on the doggone jumpsuit, because you're going away for an incredibly long time. Pack them up. Get the paddy wagon expeditiously.
Facts.
Take them to jail. You're going to prison, and the Haitian police will not be here to arrest you. You're going so far behind bars, it's going to be 23 hours lockup. Maybe not so much 23 hours. That'd be ridiculous. Not as if you killed somebody. That's neither here nor there. Take them to jail. Tell them, Vince.
Get back to jail. You go to jail, you son of a bitch. All right, hold it. You go to jail. Police! Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help!
Really, nigga?
We are the police. The police of Haiti. The police of Haiti.
Alrighty, man. Yeah, man. This is not good. This is not good for the league. It's time to get rid of Prize Picks. It's time to get rid of FanDuel. It's time to get rid of It's time to get rid of all the gambling ads, bro. Because we need to remove gambling from sports, man. It's ruining the sport, really. Because look at what it's doing. Look at what it's doing, dog. Now, like I said, Chauncey Billups shit is like on some other shit. It's like on some scamming shit. So that's on him. But as far as like the Terry Rozier, DeJounte Porter situation go, yeah, it's time to get rid of sports betting, because if this is the results of it now, it's best to get rid of it as soon as possible. Because if right now this is what these guys are doing with their money, or doing with their money, trying to make more money with the betting and stuff like that, yeah, bro, it's time to wrap it up, bro. It's time to pack them up and get rid of all of gambling from the sport of basketball. I don't know how that's working in the NFL. I hope it's not going like that in the NFL, but for the most part, it's time to get rid of it in basketball, because look at what's been going on. It's been hella investigations into players doing illegal betting and gambling on themselves to make more money. So yeah, it's not a good It's not a good look for the sport. It's not a good look for the league. It's time to get rid of gambling altogether. Like I said, David Stern was still alive and still the commissioner of basketball. David Stern would have had already gotten rid of all the gambling companies and would have had Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and whoever else under investigation. He would have had all them niggas packed the fuck up. Even if they was innocent, you still getting packed the fuck up. Because there's been some people that have been innocent before, and David Stern did not care. You still getting packed up, nigga. We don't care. You got accused of something. We can't have that in the league. It's about the integrity of the game, and when the integrity is being questioned by this gambling shit, it has to go. But knowing Adam Silver, he's always going to choose the profits over the integrity, because that's the world we live in now. But anyway, so that's just going to about do it for this one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Till then, deuces.